Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Spells do come off the board for now as these invade wars continue to rear their ugly head. Beishong did not take the red buff. Junhao actually secured it himself. The smite nearly goes wrong for Beishong. He does grab the big raptor, but Saber's throwing down tons of stones, and Zhang over the wall makes sure that Beishong has nowhere to escape, and Ultra Prime able to capitalize for first blood, but more blood may be shed. This bot side as Starry flashes forward, nearly finds both kills.
And this does concede that dragon early on, right? Like we talked about the change up from Grubs, and now Zhang.
He's 2 levels up. He has the needlework. He knows that Starry doesn't have flash or barrier, and just like that, maybe this wasn't the lane that Starry wanted to go towards, as Zhang now becomes the super inflated Gwen. Moham with the shield is going to try and outplay it. Will make it a trade, but that's still a 2-for-1. The Zhang will easily cash in.
Yeah, really well played. I think that the wave on the top side probably want to try and take this fight. Yumi ulti is so very powerful, and the power on these Grubs is so high. They're trying to find this fight. Should be on OMG's side.
Yeah, and they can kind of disguise the ultimate until it finally pops. They do it with the Zerial in tow, but Beishong gets poked very, very low. Has to pop the Rescue Guard and back off just like that. And that's the main engage tool for the Zeri on the Lightning Crash. But at the very least, it will get OMG control of the Grubs until the Grand Starfall comes across. And just like that, Junhao pops on top of Beishong and drops him. Spirit Rush is going to come out, but a great stun comes across there from Saber to force Charlotte back. And now he's having to flash away. Just when you think Ultra Prime have to play on the back foot, they strike and claim everything.
Yeah, Ultra Prime, and if OMG try to fight this, they are going to be at a decided disadvantage. Beishong sniffing around. Don't give it a 50-50, guys.
Yeah, Junhao, you got to either engage and try and burn it down here, and he's going to take the first option and jump right on top, but he gets popped, and there's an angle for Beishong to steal away that dragon. So they do grab it, but it's going to be Ultra Prime that still feel way more comfortable fighting. Beishong and Charlotte both drop to make sure the dragon
picked up for themselves. I mean, Beishong so far having a pretty torrid time of things. Every time he goes in, he seems to, well, get bubbled up this time, and I think that's a really good trade. Taking out Xiaojia's Nami wave before this big objective actually gives him a slightly better chance at fighting.
As much as we like to make fun of Yumi as a champion that is so easy to play, and the pro level, bouncing around certain opponents can make you very, very volatile as the Culling comes down, but Starry takes negative damage. Saber gets exhausted and thrown off the Weaver's Wall as Charlotte explodes onto the scene. Junhao jumps in just to try and save his bottom lane, and there's OMG playing the overload towards the river.
Then immediately recovers as he flashes over, uses that Crescent Guard and shoves Saber onto the wrong side of the wall. He's also on the right side of the shield so that Junhao's E is not doing anything to block the damage coming through from the Xin Zhao, and Zhang's TP did come through, and now he fancies a fight.
They've left him. They've left Beishong to do this Rift Herald alone, and Zhang is just going to capitalize. The needlework, the last batch, with the snip of the scissors, gets the kill, and just like that, OMG's great play. Cap falls down, and Xiaoxia puts the nail in the coffin on that comeback.
Yeah, I mean, the ebb and the flow. That was an execution on the aftermath of it. Really cost them there. They had, 2 members down on the map, and if they'd have just played a little bit more reserved, let's say, they probably would have come away with a really good advantage. If he'd have just stayed with the with the Xin Zhao, probably puts off Zhang in its entirety. If he stays in the mid lane as well, probably saves them.
Well, now Beishong is definitely starting to get desperate with some of these engages. He dashes onto Lucian. What a seismic shove use of the Weaver's Wall there from Saber. Throws both Moham and Beishong into the grinder that is Ultra Prime. And now they're really starting to seem like they're in their prime flow state right now. 2 picks found, and they're pushing towards a mid-tier 1 turret.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, for OMG, as they found a couple of kills around that Rift Herald, but they've not been able to do really anything else successful since or before then. 0-5-2 for Beishong, and this is the life that a Xin Zhao will lead if you need to start a fight. For Ultra Prime, their job now needs to rely on closing down this mid-tier 1 turret and taking it out of existence. They've got really easy setup for this as well. Pushing both of those side lanes, looking for a collapse into the mid lane, probably just a dive on this tier 1 if they can.
Starry's got to be careful trying to hold this wave here. Zhang, though, off to the side, was trying to hold a pretty aggressive angle. Going to surround the first charm. They commit the unstoppable onslaught, but Zhang's health bar is just not going down quick enough. He heals through 2 ultimates, and the tidal wave from Xiaoxia gets the top laner out, and
build up those Drake stacks, work toward a soul, find this Atacon in some recent time. As Starry goes in.
Jumps right on top of him, trying to make the difference. The desperation
Hold
for
on.
OMG to try and find a big win from behind. Starry is going all out, but he's going to fall right in front of Saber's face. Can't get through the entire army of Ultra Prime on your own, Starry. A commendable effort, but now OMG are just throwing themselves in one at a time, and that is a recipe for disaster as Charlotte's antics fall flat, and it forces Beishong and Harry to flash back towards their turrets, but Junhao is only going to let the tanky Scion escape. Desperation play for OMG falls flat. It's going to cost them even
Hail
more.
Mary, it's what they have to do. The game, like we said, pretty much out of their control. They're going to have to do something a little bit wild to get back into this. But a reminder, Weaver's Wall is up. Grand Starfall, maybe not, but OMG, they're on a clock here before they can get collapsed on. Zhong's sniffing around as well. Here comes Wako, here comes Xiaojia. Even without the Talia Wall, this could be a disaster.
They're corralling the cattle for slaughter. Here down goes the Thornbound Atakan, but look at the damage Wako does to Beishong before he gets the Crest Guard even down. The Culling doesn't get the job done, but the Scissors, the golden pair for Zhong is definitely bringing the big-time load to this fight, but it's a huge stun for Harry. The Ultra Prime have walked in one by one just like OMG in the last fight, and it might cost them here as Junhao and Saber go blow for blow. Harry's zombie with teleport available. Zhang has decided to walk his way all the way up towards this Baron, will be spotted, and that does allow Charlotte to respond to the bot wave comfortably. So there's not a wave that's really pushing against OMG, it's their jungler's health bar that's pushing against their efforts to make the comeback. Beishong cannot be the first one to fall here. Now OMG, they basically have to fight their way into a win or they'll lose Baron, and Zhang is looking to take everything. He wants his cake and to eat it too, and he's knocking down Harry's health bar with the help of his squad. The top side for OMG falls, and that makes Baron a guarantee for Ultra Prime.
10-second window. The backline had nothing to do. Zhang positions himself perfectly. With the Shroud coming down, nobody can deal damage to him or pass through the Gwen at all. Baron's going to fall, and 40 seconds before the Baron, the Dragon, excuse me, the timing is perfect. Starry's overextended. He's going to get this turret, but he's going to get TP'd on for it.
Yep, Zhang's here first. It's a double TP. Saber's here as well. That turret is going to earn you a colon to the face as Starry's jaw gets knocked off, and Moham falls with him. They've got the grub advantage, they've got Baron, and they're going to barrel down with their eyes on the prize of opening up OMG's base.
Yeah, Junhao even used Grand Starfall there to make it down to this bot side that little bit sooner, able to catch a wave, push that in, and Ultra Prime, they don't need to take this Drake on spawn. They can use the Baron to the best of their abilities, and they can just push it all the way through the base if they like. Two members of OMG are stood trying to stop the Dragon.
Oh, Beishong, good seismic shove there. Even though the Crescent Guard Saber gets him close enough to drop the damage. Stasis is right when the charm comes in for Charlotte, and the point-and-click stun for Junhao lands. And Rude, I think we might not even need a Hextech Soul the way this game is going.
I'm thinking it's going to be a formality. If Ultra Prime don't end here, then they'll probably just use that as an exit objective, walk their way down to that Dragon, find that before they recall.
They want it now.
I mean, Harry is not tanky at all.
They don't want this game to reach 30 minutes. Ultra Prime want to make sure it's known that OMG cannot compete with a squad with play-in aspirations. Down goes Harry and Starry. It's only Moham who gets popped like a balloon by the 3-item Wako. They've got the grubs, they got the Baron waves, and they're looking to make a statement in game one. Ultra Prime nowhere near the same level as OMG as they look to command this series 1-0 up.
A big win from Ultra Prime as Wako even throwing in the culling
series for a team, and it usually always wins. Do I have stats to back that up? Not really.
No.
I'm going off of vibes, but
yeah,
vibes-wise, great pick.
Which is a win in its own right here, and I mean, Starry should be able to just hop on the back of the Rakan and get a base.
Wow, he's going all out for it. Immediate heal, though, comes out here from Moham. Gets the knockup. Starry has more than enough HP, especially with the barrier, and does finally earn that first blood. And maybe gets a second here. The root, perfectly timed. Collapse of the Ultra Prime bottom lane. Potentially build around some of these guys you currently have on the roster. I know they've made a lot of swaps in mid and jungle since we got into the Rumble stage, but we talk about how the players can play for potentially new spots in 2025 no matter the result, but you also can play for telling this organization, hey, this first turret down, but Ultra
collapsing.
Prime, could come across. There's not many ultimates up for OMG by this point.
I don't like for a little bit of a heal as well, so that's always going to be very beneficial for him. Now moving into what is this Mountain Dragon getting picked up for OMG. It's pretty much uncontested. Ultra Prime, you can see, playing very tentatively, and for OMG as well.
Bode well for the for the solo lanes of Zhang and Saber if there aren't many fights either, though. That is important to state as the Triforce comes through for both scaling threats on that aspect. And it does seem like Zhang is getting pretty scary on this York as he knocks down the turret with Junhao. Focus execution engage comes across from Harry as they have a support teleport coming through, but he doesn't kill off Zhang in time, has to flash out. The hero's entrance just mere feet away from Harry. Charlotte channels that, but does not save the Ambessa, and now Charlotte's trapped in 1v3 with all the damage dealers out. The mistakes of OMG showing their ugly head once more and opening up a huge lane for Ultra Prime.
And Zhang just...
A teleport gonna maybe save it here. Yeah. And keep in mind, another interesting use of a global ability there. Harry's teleporting mere feet. Nonetheless, though, does save that tier 2 turret as you called out. There is the quickness coming out from Moham. Xiaosha, though, does survive. I thought, though, is the heroes vault out from Charlotte. Doesn't matter. Junhao gets the safety, so we can talk more about how Serpent's Fang is an Eclipse counter.
Yeah, it's Eclipse and Ambessa. Ambessa has a shield built into her kit as well, so you get two for the price of one. Realm Warp.
Mid-tier 1 down. Realm Warp in. The reinforcements have arrived. Junhao gonna flash and hit the cease and desist. The Feather Storm still comes out from Star. They get protected by the Redemption, but there's the damage from Wako. Too bad, though, he's got an Ambessa right in front of his grill that throws it down. Zhang arrives to the fight with the main, but it is a man advantage for OMG. How do they look, though, without their AD carry in a very frontline-based composition? Well, they look like they don't want to fight any longer, and they'll just take the 2-for-1 win.
Aggressive.
Talked about it, though, the lows and the highs of Ultra Prime is when they feel like they're backed into a corner and have to fight out of their strength of their composition, especially in points where they're playing from behind. So as much as we praise the game one from Ultra Prime, that was what we felt like the ceiling was, but will make them a better team that can potentially threaten for play-in tournament against LGD. And
so how to close out a game for them has been a tricky question that they've somehow failed or somewhat failed to answer. Zhang.
They're going after Zhang. 2 items, but no boots. That's a slow Yorick. Luckily, Flash creates enough separation. And the main won't survive. Zhang will once more.
Wako moving back into
little vision, if any. Looks like Ultra Prime will take the smarter approach here and give up that dragon to try and catch some more waves and grab some more items. Maybe try and catch Moham a little too far up, trying to prevent a blue buff take, but won't. Like this from is this,
get in there.
Is this an overextend? Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we don't give the odd to Khan, but they might not know this thing's going down until it's a little bit too far too late. Junhao has the Vault Breaker. Are they going to throw the jungler in there? The Keeper's Reverse take them all off. Look at the quickness, though. Gets 3 charmed up into the Hero's Entrance knockup, and now they've got Beishong back here. The heroics of Moham neutralize the Keeper's Verdict, and now Ultra Prime are completely cornered. Trying to corral them is Beishong. Good route comes across from Saber. Flashing is Beishong, but he gets nobody with the Impale. Xiaosha may fall at the very least here. That ultimate could have really broken this game open. Instead, it's the Ixtal's Impact. Another good flash from Wako. Gets away from the big-time Ambessa ultimate. Ultra Prime, they get their lucky stars. They only get out of there with 1 dead.
Moham, an incredible fight around this Atacon. And OMG come away with 2 neutral objectives in the span of 20 seconds or so. Really solid play. Ultra Prime are trying to chase them out, but they'll be able to find those recalls. They might have to walk back to their turrets to do so.
I'm just getting nervous watching Junhao. Every time he channels a Vault Breaker, I think he's just walking around his bot tier 2 turret. The only problem with this plan is that Ultra Prime do have 2 scaling threats, so keep an eye on Saber towards his bot side as the Snap Engage does come across here. He finally hits that public execution. Impale comes across onto Zhang as well, and the Yorick is knocked down. Boy, did it take a lot, but OMG get the kill done.
Yeah, all 5 people now down on this bot side with those grubs, remember. They're going to lay waste to this turret very quickly. A teleport into the top side from Charlotte just stops Saber in his tracks, and it's a really solid play on the map once again by OMG as they find a collapse onto the Yorick, who's probably not overextended, but is far enough out so that he can finally go down. And now Junhao on the mighty flank of Destiny here as Zhao's just collapsing too.
He has no idea. The Vault Breaker down. Cease Assist comes across through the charm. There is the big-time Feather Storm. The Keeper's Verdict doesn't hit anybody out, but the Realm Warp in. Here's Saber, and all of a sudden, it's all Ultra Prime. 4 members exert their force on the bot side, and they find their prize once again. Starry is the gold medal, and the silver soon to come as Moham has nowhere to run, but into the Mystic Shots of Wako. Pick plays, getting Ultra Prime gold to keep them competitive.
Okay, and Ultra Prime
stop Soul Point.
Yeah, Slayer, it's becoming a bit messy on Summoner's Rift, even though we only had 11 kills in this 26-minute game. And here, close out this series 2-0, not just does it read on paper that you got 2-0 versus OMG, which is probably an expectation, Wako.
Okay, he's going to have to cleanse the charm. Knockup still comes. The taunt lands for Charlotte. Great CC layering. And Rude Dude's message rings true. That is not the first time Wako
out of the wardrobe, back from Narnia on the super flank of OMG.
Yeah, but this time they have a better idea about it. They spot him on the ward. This Baron take is slow. I think that's Junhao's plan to try and slow this one down, but Wako's not up for about 20 seconds. This is a 4v5 without your AD carry. Completely split fight. Keeper's verdict goes Beishong into Junhao's waiting arms, but now they're going to try and solo down Charlotte. A very tanky Galio. Harry flies in the background. Zhang is sectioned out. Xiaosha's down next. OMG will not relent. They want to avoid the broom, sweeping them out of the Nirvana group, and this Baron might just lock us in the distance.
Sorry, then it looks and feels a lot better for Ultra to try and find this fight.
But here's the problem. Yorick is corralled into the base. Zhang has nowhere to really free fly with the Maiden. Has to answer constant Baron waves, and Ultra Prime have to give up their middle inhibitor with Little Murmur in Rebellion.
Reminder that this OMG composition is going to thrive in the 5 versus 5. It's Ultra Prime that are looking to constantly be tricksy, use those side lanes, and try and find a way back that way. Junhao spotted out finally there, and Beishong immediately going to hop on top of him.
No, without the rest of the team, though, and he does get a small win now with this smite taking away the Wolves, but just buying time. Still a whole minute on this Baron. Multiple waves that will bring in here as OMG try and force down this bottom tier 3 turret. Or maybe just look for the fight of a century as Wako is picked again. Cleanse and Flash were up, but Wako does not press them. And he falls and maybe brings down all of Ultra Prime with him. The Maiden is next to fall. The Nexus turrets are completely exposed. And OMG, they want to go for the throat here and now to force this game the distance. Xiaosha trying to desperately run away, but there's the impale. Finds Saber. He goes to the stasis, but's going to watch the rest of his team crumble to OMG. The Keeper's verdict does buy a bit of time here. Harry on the front line taking a ton of damage. Finally, they do knock down Junhao, but Harry has rung wild. And OMG will not fall, will not be swept out of their final series in the LPL. We're going the distance.
And like this used to be a Moham special back on DK as well, so after an MVP performance in game number 2, giving him the reins to be able to do that again, because the rest of his comp, not Void grubs nice and quickly as well. You can already see actually Saber passing his way up to this top side. It doesn't look like OMG are going to get these uncontested.
Charlotte does not try and play objective-wise as these first items start to come through. Got a dragon in about a minute here. Ultra Prime. See how much priority they lean in towards that dragon stacking early on. They do have some first item advantages coming across here, and finally something pops. It's Zhang soloing out Starry. Flash does not save him. Zhang follows, and a Death Brush camp gets the first kill done in about 12 minutes. That's Tristana. A lot of pings though coming towards this Drake as OMG, despite their AD carries pitfalls, do look like they want to contest this Drake. Junhao taking his sweet time. There's the snap engage coming across, but Moham denies Xiaosha. That big counter pick, the R5 Alistair coming across and providing a ton of value as there goes Beishong, getting a little lullaby onto 2. Xiaosha falls and they get Saber to fall asleep in the Shroud. Has to flash out, perfect execute back over the wall, and one catch from Moham wins that fight for OMG.
They find the dragon, but they're losing out on the top side. Ultra Prime don't commit to bringing the Jace down. Harry teleports in, doesn't really find anything from it. They might be able to get a wave in the mid lane, but Starry's right there as well, so he's going to want the majority of that gold. John going to find G, a little bit of a window into this bot side and find them that turret.
Just get some more gold back. It's a classic trade, only to give the Herald and Lullabies available. Beishong knows the bigger fish to try and fry here is Zhang. Xiaosha in close support as well.
Seed.
Missed the swirl seed, so everything settles back down. But Dragon has been the one place we've seen some semblance of a fight break out.
Sort of slow the pace of this game. It's very Nirvana here, where these teams are not particularly keen to fight around those objectives. It seems looking now, sniffing around.
Saber is sitting on this blast cone, willing to fly in. Zhao is there as well. Wako, you do not want to be a part of that group. Does not. Goes out. Going to likely drop the curtain call. We're going to 50-50 this thing. If we can even get the jungler close enough, but Beishong just secures it. Gets the Lilting Lullaby onto 2, and immediately Ultra Prime are now on the back foot. Junhao has been left and hung out to dry on his lonesome. Ultra Prime have to back up their jungler, but maybe it's Charlotte that's actually caught. Has to flash out back to safety, but there's Saber. Gets through all of the Tristan appeal and opens up the killing for Ultra Prime. OMG are on Mountain Soul point, but now they're down a man, and Charlotte's flying in. There's the playmaking of this Neferi and Akali showing their roots. And a kill is picked up. Feats of Warfare finally secured. Zhaosha has a pick onto Beishong off to the side. Does Junhao have enough damage to finish the kill off? No! So 2 kills is the prize for Mountain Soul.
Here, they need to see Starry step up. These bowling balls will still deal damage, and they've actually put Ultra Prime out of mid lane. Junhao goes in
God,
here, but
Junhao
yeah,
eats
flashed
a
out.
headbutt, and yeah, burns that coveted flash. So again, couple of over-eager positions for both these junglers. Kind of settle any fight route, dude. What's most important for these two teams is just executing a fight on their own terms. We have not seen that yet in 30 minutes of action. Instead, we've just seen this. Both teams just walking closer to each other, and Junhao this time wins the 50-50. No Mountain Soul over to OMG. Are they going to try and fight to get some sort of angle back into this one? Good side step from Harry away from the Deadly Flourish, and once again,
enough for them to start it off. Beishong throws one into the pit.
Beishong has stasis, has flash. Instead, he's going to commit the Lilting Lullaby to one member, but guess who the one member is? It's Zhang. Chains of Corruption down. Can they bop the Jace before the fight even begins? The Ignite, the slows. There it is. They get the kill with the Faded Ashes. Zhang goes down, but Xiaosha goes in. Junhao gets the first execution. Immediately watches his rel get popped. The curtain call blocked off. They can't get the kill onto Harry. So Ultra Prime have to run for the high hills now that they don't have their Jace.
Standing strong, they're actually looking for a flank and a collapse.
Oh, Starry has to cleanse a Deadly Flourish. Good land there from Wako. In goes Saber with that perfect execution. He doesn't need it this time. Starry goes down. Saber bike so much time in the Shroud. Finally pops out. Slow on to Wako, though. But Beishong does not want to commit any further. Good head
should just be taken.
Do OMG make the desperate play to shut down this Baron. It's going down pretty slow. Oham does not get crashed down onto by Xiaosha. Baron still over 10k HP, pretty healthy, buying a lot of space for Beishong to churn and burn through this Lilia. Charlotte hopping forward as well, looking for a buster shot. They just popped the rel. Tristana resets are unreleased, and they're going all after Onijong again. He has no way to fight back 4 versus 1, but here comes Saber once more, flying into the backline. Curtain call doing a ton of damage. Moham takes up all of it. There's the good headbutt though. Gets Saber away from Beishong. He survives, and Charlotte just goon stomps him home. Ultra Prime's team fight woes burn down their Baron timer.
It's Moham Alistair to save this fight for OMG out of stasis. Saber's just biding his time, waiting to destroy OMG. But a headbutt from Moham stops him in his tracks. And now OMG, they held firm. They thwarted the engage, they thwarted the Baron, and now they claim it for themselves. Damage of a late game Tristana, and Zhang goes one way, leaves his AD carry to go the other. And then you think that Saber's going to clean house here. This looks so good for an Akali.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
And we don't get a chance.
I was going to say.
The soul's been taken.
Live, yeah. Junhao was late, and Baron gets them the soul. I love how Otacon is the only thing left. We got a Mountain Soul and a Baron taken. Poor Otacon is just standing there watching everybody else fight. But here comes OMG barreling down the mid lane.
With the Baron at their back as well. Slow recalls for OMG. It looks like they're still trying to take this Atacon, but they may lose the game before they can take it down. Yeah, Junhao's going to find it. They lose their inhibitor. Now they've got to channel 8 seconds. Can they lose Nexus turrets here as well?
Yeah, it might be here. OMG looking to end it. They finally broke the seal on the fighting. They'll get the Nexus turret, but the recalls do come across for Ultra Prime, so OMG have to calm down, check themselves, take a deep breath in, and make the call here. You could throw the game away, going all out for the win, but OMG sense that this may be their big opportunity to do so. Headbutt, Saber away, comes out from Moham, who's marking this Akali. Big poke down to Xiaosha, about half HP. Harry and the Alistair standing tall in the front line, just like OMG drafted for. But they have to worry about these 2 assassins. The flank angles are starting to really rear their ugly heads. But OMG are just going to stay calm.
They can win
fortified. And they're just
they can
poked
slowly
down.
chip away at this turret. They've got another explosive charge ready for Charlotte. Just puts that on the turret. 2-3 autos, and now they engage.
There goes Mohan flying on in. They get to sleep on Zhang. He's down once more. Here goes OMG looking for the one marker they couldn't find all split long. And damn it, they're going to do it. They might not have had the 2025 they wanted, but OMG go out on top.